Welcome back to Caffeine Confessionals. No, you did not misread the title of this video. We are going to be breaking down the projected cast for the Challenge All-Stars Season 3. And that may come as a huge surprise to you, as we are still 1 month away from the premiere of Challenge All-Stars Season 2. MTV, Paramount, Viacom, they decided they love this spin-off franchise, they love bringing back the OGs, and they love the fan reception to all of it, so they're filming the third season, and they're going to have it out to us by spring or summer. And we have to be thankful because we are getting some of our fan favorites back on the show, and they have stacked a great cast for us. And I got to give a thank you out to Pink Rose and the spoiler team at Vevmo.com. There's going to be a link in the bio of this article where you can see all the spoiler information that Pink Rose and the spoiler team will be updating every other day or so with elimination spoilers and stuff like that. But for this video, we're only going to be talking about who is on the cast for this season, and we aren't going to be mentioning any All-Stars 2 spoilers because that is unfair as the season has not come out and not everyone follows those type of spoilers. Now let's jump into the cast. Kicking off the cast, we have Beth Stitches from the Real World Los Angeles. Beth is one of the Challenge's greatest villains, but on Challenge All-Star Season 1, she proved to be a more motherly, grown-up figure. Except this time around on All-Star Season 3, she has much more of her foes from back in the day on the show, like Tina and Veronica. Will she get into drama? Will she be the villain Beth from back in the day? Ooh, I don't know, but I'm excited to see her back on the show, especially because her run on All-Stars 1 was kind of cut short out of nowhere. She was blindsided into that elimination with Syrus having a bad ankle. Next up, we got Challenge champion Cynthia Roberts from the Real World Miami. She appeared on 2 seasons and appeared on the first season of the challenge ever, Road Rules All-Stars. One of the greater black figures in reality television history. Cynthia is a great character, and OG fans of the show have to be happy to see her back. Next, we got Jemmye Carroll from the Real World New Orleans 2. Jemmye appeared on 7 main seasons of the challenge, and a lot of people were upset she was on Challenge All-Star Season 1 as she was not really seen as an OG, but with seeing how many newer cast members are being integrated now, Jemmye fits in a bit more normally, and she worked as a narrator on Challenge All-Star Season 1, came in 3rd place in the final among the females of that season, so maybe Jemmye has a little bit more in her than we thought. Jonna Mannion, who has appeared on All-Star Season 1 and is set to appear on Season 2. Her Season 2 All-Stars cast photo shows that Jonna has lost a significant amount of weight and is in better shape for Season 2. So if Jonna isn't getting in better shape and she came in 1st place among females on Challenge All-Stars Season 1, that means sky's the limit. Her original season is Real World Cancun, and she has a lot of friendships on this cast. Next up, we got Kayla Casillas from the Real World Go Big or Go Home, and a lot of people are very upset that Kayla is on this show because her Real World season debuted in 2015 or 2016, and now she's on this OG show when she's still in her 20s. It's a bit of a shocking casting, but MTV sees this older cast, or Paramount sees this older cast, and they know they have to throw in a couple spoonfuls of youth to stir things up, to get some drama, maybe, you know, do some stuff like that. Kayla won't be hooking up. She's currently engaged to Sam Bird, a reality TV star in the UK. It's going to be interesting to see Kayla on this show mixing it up with these OGs, especially, you know, I don't know, man. Next up, we got Judd. She appeared on 4 main seasons of the challenge, made it to the final of All-Star Season 1, and tied with Jonna for 1st place in that final. She's always been a top competitor whenever she's competed, and especially back in the day, was regarded very highly. It's important to note that going into All-Star Season 1, she had been dealing with iron poisoning in the previous couple of years of her life, where she wasn't in her best shape. Now she's doing more yoga, now she's doing more training, and I think Kellyanne could be a potential winner. Next up, we got Kendal Shepard, who proved to be one of the strongest players on All-Star Season 1. She's going to be on All-Star Season 2 as well. Kendal is a challenge champion, having won the Inferno 1. And I just find it so funny that Kendal is now about to do her 3rd spin-off of the show after having only done 1 main season of the challenge. So she's done triple the amount of spin-offs than she did main seasons. Great competitor though, really strong mentally and physically. Where she lacks in is the social game, as she gets a bit paranoid, doesn't always mix in well with the house, but she's a fan favorite. Next up, we got Melinda Stolp from The Real World Austin. And Melinda, ever since she's detached herself from Danny Jameson, has had one of the great glow-ups. She's currently a mom, has a new marriage, has a new podcast, has just a fun, lively personality that people want to, they want to stick onto her. And even though she had one of the worst elimination records in challenge history, I think Melinda could go far based on her social game. Another casting that has people really talking is Nia Moore from The Real World Portland. We last saw her on Battle of the X's 2, where she got DQ'd for her interactions with Jordan and Sarah, where she was verbally just going at them, crossing the line a bit. Nia is a big figure, man. She's called Hurricane Nia for a reason. She drank someone's sweat before. But Nia is 6 feet tall. She's not someone you want to see in elimination, because her size and natural athleticism to her, it's hard to go up against someone like that. There is Nia can be bad, but if it's a hall brawl, it's hard to compete with someone that big and that athletic. It's also important to note that Nia was someone who people have talked about as being banned from the show, but apparently she is not banned from All Stars. Interesting to see her back. Next up, we got Roni Martin, Road Rules Northern Trail. We last saw her on the Gauntlet 1, winning a championship. Roni is one of the one of only a dozen women in challenge history to win 2 challenge championships. That's kind of crazy to think about. She's undefeated for her challenge career. Has never seen an elimination, though. That is important to note. Roni was trained as a dancer, is naturally athletic when it comes to that, and was a good Road Rules competitor. I don't really know how she stacks up in this modern era, but Roni is an athlete. Sophia Pasqui from Road Rules The Quest is an alternate. She was an alternate for Season 1 as well and will be appearing on Season 2. She made it to her only final, the final of her only season, Battle of the Sexes 2, mostly due to a social game and a puzzle prowess. Tina Barta, Road Rules South Pacific, second place finisher of Fresh Meat 1, 2 challenge finals, appeared as a mercenary on Cutthroat alongside CT, and appeared on Challenge All-Star Season 2. She's one of the mean girls. Tina is great in elimination. She's great with puzzles. She's pretty solid in daily challenges. Tina's main weakness over her challenge careers is cardiovascular challenges. She's not good in finals. That's her main weakness. But everything else, Tina's really awesome at, and she's a cutthroat competitor. Next up, we got Veronica Portillo from Road Rules Semester at Sea. We most recently saw Veronica on Final Reckoning. She's appeared on 11 main seasons of the show, and she's tied for the most challenge championships by a female with 3. She also appeared on the Champ vs. Pro spinoff, and she's someone who people have been wanting on this OG show from the beginning, but there were talks about pay disputes. But now the fact that one of her good friends, Tina, has done the show, maybe she inched towards it finally. And I think a lot of people are excited to see Veronica mix it up, especially with Beth, who she has problems with. I mean, the two have gone at each other on social media for years. That is our female side of the cast. Let's jump into the males. The first male listed is Ace Amerson from The Real World Paris, but it is important to note that Ace is projected to be an alternate for this season. Ace was on Challenge All-Star Season 1 and lost the first elimination. He's a very likable personality, but he's just not a good competitor. Ace was not made for these challenge streets. He's not cutthroat. But, I mean, people want to see him do well, and if he got on the show, I think people would be happy to see him. Next up, we got Brad Fiorenza from The Real World Original San Diego. Brad is a 4-time finalist, is the runner-up of both the Duel 1 and the Duel 2, and of course, won a challenge championship on Cutthroat. Brad is projected to appear on Challenge All-Stars Season 2. He's a great athlete, in great shape, good swimmer. His only problem is he's not great with puzzles, and he can sometimes make some bad political decisions. Next up, we got the only player in challenge history to win 4 straight seasons. That is Darrell Taylor from Road Rules Campus Crawl. Darrell won the Challenge Champ vs. Pro spinoff. He came in second place in All-Star Season 1, and he's set to appear on All-Star Season 2. He is one of the funniest competitors this show has when it comes to confessionals, and now that he can curse, he's just absolutely hilarious. I love Darrell so much, and I'm glad to see him back. One of the few players to three-peat in challenge history is Derrick Kozinski from the Road Rules X-Treme. Derrick, he gives his all in every elimination. He made it to the final of All-Stars 1, but got purged with Gisela in the first portion of the final. He's hungry to compete. He's on All-Star Season 2, back for All-Star Season 3. Fans love Derrick. And now we have Johnny Bananas. 20 seasons, a couple spin-off appearances. He's from the Real World Key West, 7-time challenge champion. And people really want to see Bananas get beaten down by some of the veterans of this game. They want to see these OGs get their revenge on someone that some people don't think is the greatest player in challenge history. But maybe if Johnny can beat all these people, he can prove that. I don't know. It's an interesting conversation. Going from someone that a lot of people see as one of the faces of the show to someone I think is statistically the best player in challenge history, Jordan Wisely from the Real World Portland. Jordan repeated in the modern era of the show, which is statistically one of the hardest things you could do. Like mathematically, when you do the odds of what it takes to win those seasons and you multiply them by one another, it is ridiculous. Jordan is in great shape. He does, like, nobody can compete with him in a final. He can go at a fast pace. He's a good swimmer. He's good with puzzles. His only bad part of his game is his social game, where he's not afraid to tell people what is on his mind. And the most interesting wrinkle to Jordan is that he's thrown into a game with Naya. And we all know what happened between them on X's 2, but they are actually good friends these days, and they are a little bit flirty with one another. Maybe there could be a showmance there. I don't know. Oof, Jordan and Naya maybe getting a showmance after all the drama and baggage between them. That would make for the most interesting storyline. Next up, we got Latarian Wallace from Road Rules Maximum Velocity Tour. He is a one-time finalist. He appeared on Challenge All-Star Season 1 and really put an emphatic note on who he is by winning that first elimination of the season, completely dominating Ace Amerson in a pole wrestle. He appears on Season 2 of Challenge All-Stars, and he's back for his third straight. Production must really love Latarian. He's a smart guy with a biology degree, works as a personal trainer. Latarian is more built for the challenge in 2021 than he was back in the early 2000s. Next up, we got Mark Long from the Road Rules First Adventure. Mark, of course, was the guy who came up with this OG idea show. He was on the first season, made it to the final, came in third place among men behind Yes and Darrell, who are very strong competitors. Mark is tall, he's large, he's old, and I mean he's a brick house. I would love to see Mark go up against Johnny Bananas in elimination. I know they faced off against one another on X's 1, but I believe that they had a deal in place to help Bananas win. I want to see them face off in a fair fight. Next up, we got MJ Garrett from the Real World Philadelphia. He's the only player, or male player in challenge history, to be an alternate on 2 different seasons and come into the show. That's how he showed up on both the Gauntlet 3 and the Duel 2. He's a challenge champion, having won as part of the rookie team on the Gauntlet 2, and he's set to appear on Challenge All-Star Season 2. MJ was a college football player. He's like 6'5", 6'6" tall. He's a massive dude and a great athlete, but that was part of his problem when he was on the challenge, where he thought because he was the best athlete, he could simply dominate people physically. But the challenge is a lot of carnival games. There's a lot of mental stuff. Has MJ matured and grown up? I don't know. It'll be big to see if he can. Next up, we have Nehemiah Clark, who is another guy who's going to be on his 3rd straight All-Star season. He's from the Real World Austin. He won the Gauntlet 3 as part of the rookie team. Nehemiah proved to be a really good swimmer, in really good shape, is solid with puzzles. He was so close to the final of Challenge All-Star Season 1. It'll be interesting to see how Nehemiah mixes it up, especially as, you know, he's not a fan of Johnny Bananas and his crew, and he does have a friend coming in on this season that you'll see in a bit. Melinda is back for Season 2, from Season 2 as well, and they are also very close. Next up, we got Syrus Yarbrough from the Real World Boston. He was on All-Star Season 1, of course, but then had a bad ankle, which inevitably led to his elimination against Alton. Syrus is an OG. People love him. He's just one of the best social game players. But he's been the old guy in the Challenge House all the way back in the early 2000s, so people are going to look at him this way on the show. Along with that, I don't know how Syrus stacks up in a final. I don't think he would do well in one. He's a big guy. He's good in something like a pole wrestle maybe, but I don't really see Syrus doing that well in a final, especially amongst this stacked cast. Tyler Duckworth is set to be an alternate from this season from the Real World Key West. There is going to be no reunion between him and Johnny Bananas, sadly. Uh, Tyler, great competitor, two-time challenge champion, one of the most underrated players. He's built for a final as someone who is a swimmer who runs Ironmans, marathons, triathlons. I see why they're putting him as an alternate though, because there are bigger names on this show. Wes Bergman, and Wes recently announced that he would not be doing any challenge spin-offs or main seasons of the show for a long time, and he just lied to us because he's going to be on Challenge All-Star Season 3. Him and Bananas back again. We most recently saw him on Double Agents. He has the most elimination wins in challenge history. Is actually 5-0 in eliminations in challenge spin-offs if you look at the Chance vs. Stars, Chance vs. Pros franchise. And Wes is just another interesting wrinkle to the show. I wonder if he'll maybe try to do too much of the politics in this game, because Challenge All-Stars, you have to be fun, you have to bring a good vibe. You don't want to be too serious. Even though these people want to play the game, you need to be able to vibe. And next up, we got the winner of Challenge All-Stars Season 1, Yes Duffy. Yes is a mathematician who's in super great shape. Just a cool, calm demeanor. Everyone likes Yes. It is crucial to note, Yes has still never seen a challenge elimination, and he is pretty skinny. So he's not undersized. He can lift a lot of weight, but if someone's running at him, I don't know if Yes knows how to tackle or anything like that. A great player though, and just a great human being all around. And that's your male cast. That's your cast for Challenge All-Star Season 3. It might be the strongest male cast this show has ever seen. And so to recap, our cast for the Challenge All-Star Season 3 is Challenge All-Star Season 1 winner Yes Duffy, two-time challenge champion from the Real World Austin, Wes Bergman. Tyler Duckworth from the Real World Key West and two-time challenge champion is set to be an alternate. One-time challenge champion Syrus from the Real World Boston is set to come back. One-time challenge champion Nehemiah Clark from the Real World Austin coming back. One-time challenge champion MJ Garrett from the Real World Philadelphia. Two-time challenge champion Mark Long from Road Rules The First Adventure. Latarian Wallace from Road Rules Maximum Velocity. Jordan Wisely, three-time challenge champion from the Real World Portland. Johnny Bananas, seven-time challenge champion from the Real World Key West. Derrick Kozinski, three-time champion from Road Rules X-Treme. Darrell Taylor, four-time challenge champion from Road Rules Campus Crawl. Brad Fiorenza, one-time challenge champion from Real World San Diego. Ace Amerson as an alternate for the season from Real World Paris. Veronica Portillo, three-time challenge champion from Road Rules Semester at Sea. Tina Barta, Road Rules South Pacific. Sophia Pasqui as an alternate for this season for Road Rules The Quest. Two-time challenge champion Roni Martin from Road Rules Northern Trail. Nia Moore, the Real World Portland. Melinda Stulp from the Real World Austin. One-time challenge champion Kendal Shepard from Road Rules Campus Crawl. Kellyanne Judd from the Real World Sydney. Kayla Casillas from Real World Go Big or Go Home. John A. Mannion, first place female finisher from Challenge All-Stars Season 1 from Real World Cancun. Jemmy Carroll from Real World Back to New Orleans. Challenge champion Cynthia Roberts, Real World Miami. And Beth Stolorsijic from the Real World Los Angeles. This is a hell of a cast. I am very excited for this show. Expect more information to come in the time being. And also remember, some of these people could get dropped. Some of the alternates could get added to the main cast. We really never know what happens with these shows sometimes. And I just hope you're having a good day, because I'm excited for this season. And I hope you guys are too. There's going to be a lot of Challenge All-Stars 2 content, Spies, Lies, and Allies content. So stay updated with this channel if you can. And have a great day.